With me now, HLN's Nancy Grace. And Nancy, thank you for coming on. I just want to begin. There's a lot we can talk about. Was there any one thing you were waiting to hear from Officer Wilson that he just didn't say?
Yes. You know, when people say it just doesn't add up, I'll tell you what doesn't add up. These photos. Because I was expecting to see, and we've all seen them, I have looked at them, I have studied them. I was expecting to see his face mangled. And I hear what he's saying, that he was afraid and this happened and that happened. But I always go back to the beginning, and the beginning is this. You got an armed man and an unarmed man. The unarmed man is shot 6 to 7 times. One of those may be a reentry. That's why it may be 6. 6 to 7 times. He unloaded many, many more bullets. Why? He doesn't even have a bruise. Right? It's red. He's got a red mark. I don't see it. And another thing, when he says, it all happened so fast I couldn't think, then later says, I paused and thought, can I legally shoot him? Listen, that doesn't add up. There's so many things that don't add up.
He says he didn't have other options. That's from the mouth of Officer Wilson.
Look, do you know how many times I've ever sided against a cop? Never. But to me, this is bigger than a badge. And I don't like speaking out against a cop. But this doesn't add up. And another thing, grand jury. I have presented to grand juries so many times, I can't even count them. On a single day, we would present 75 to 150 cases to a grand jury, and we would do that 2 times a week when I had grand jury duty. I feel that the district attorney, as much as I respect him in other ways, used the grand jury to do what he wanted them to do as his tool. He didn't want to drop it. He presented it in such a way that this grand jury would not bring charges, and I don't like that.
I know a lot of people agree with you, and let me tap into your knowledge just as a prosecutor, because you hear this from Ben Crump and then the team on the Michael Brown side saying they were frustrated. They felt like, you know, the testimony of the grand jury, i.e. the testimony from Officer Wilson, especially when he likened himself to a 5-year-old and felt like Michael Brown, you know, like Hulk Hogan, was coming at him, and that his credibility and his testimony wasn't challenged. Is it the DA's responsibility? If you're at a grand jury, is it the prosecutor's responsibility to challenge that? Is it the grand jurors to ask questions? What was missing?
The grand jurors are like sheep. They're babes in the woods. The prosecutor's duty is to seek the truth. And here's the difference between me and Crump and Parks. I'm not paid one way or the other. My paycheck does not depend on my opinion. I'm not working for anybody except the truth. And I am telling you that prosecutors, if they want an indictment, they will get an indictment. When I went to a grand jury, I went to the grand jury on each case because I believed the offense had been committed and I had the right guy, or the police had the right guy. And I went in there to present them our evidence. If I didn't think there was a case, I would never have gone to the grand jury. You don't use the grand jury to achieve your personal gain, to achieve what you want them to do. You go in to get a true verdict. And, you know, I mean, please, there's nothing here. There's not even a bruise. And what you said about Hulk Hogan, remember, when he said he felt like a 5-year-old battling the Hulk Hogan, that's when all he was battling was an arm in his patrol car. What, the arm is like Hulk Hogan? It doesn't add up. And his minute detail. This whole thing happened in 90 seconds. How did he have time to pause and think, can I legally shoot him? He also said, I only wanted to do one thing, and that's live. Well, if you wanted to live, then put the pedal to the metal and drive when the guy's trying to jump in your car and grab your gun. That makes sense, right?